Good morning, student. Welcome to the class. So today we'll discuss about the relational model terminology. It is propounded by E.F. Cott of the IBM and hence since we acknowledge very important concept in DBMS technology here. So let's explore some model in details. Different terms used in relational models are being discussed here. First one is relation. In general, a relation is a table. And table means a data arranged in row and column. A table has following properties. First, in any given columns of the table, all the items are of the same kind, whereas the items in different column may not be of the same kind. For a row, each column must have an atomic or indivisible value, and also for a row, a column cannot have more than one value. Then all rows of a relation are distinct here. So that is, a relation does not contain two rows which are identical in each column. So you have to take the two row of different tables should be. If you are making the table column same, row same, then you should. That is, each row of the relation can be uniquely identified by its content here. Then there is no order maintained of rows inside a relation. That is, we cannot retrieve anything by saying that from row number 5 column name is to be accessed. So here you have to give both the address of row and column to access the data. The columns of a relation are assigned distinct names and the ordering of the columns is immaterial. Then domain. A domain is a pool of value from which the actual value appearing in given column are drawn. For example, the values appearing in the sub number column of both the supplier table and the shipment tables are drawn from underlying domain of all valid supplier numbers. So it is given here the examples. So the a domain is said to be atomic, and if the element of domain are considered to be indivisible units, it is given here in both the table shipments and suppliers. Then next is tuple. The rows of tables means relation are generally referred to as tuples. Use pronouns to rhyme with couples. Then attributes. The columns of table are generally referred to as attributes. Then come to the degree. The number of attributes in a relation determined by degree of a relation. So what is degree? The number of attributes in a relation determined by degree of a relation. A relation having 3 attributes is said to be relation of degree 3. Similarly, a relation having an attribute is said to be relation of degree n. So relation of degree 1 are said to be unary. Relations of degree should be binary, and relation of degree 3 is ternary. Like this, the degree n are n-ary. Like this, the degree is determined here. Then cardinal, what is given here? Cardinality. The number of tuples in a relation is called the cardinality of the relation. Example, the cardinality of shipments relation is 9. Similarly, the cardinality of supplier relation is 5. Relation means the table. Then views. A view is a kind of table whose contents are taken from the other tables depending upon a condition. Then a view does not contain data of their own. The content of a view are determined by carrying out the execution of the given query. The query means the given condition here. Means a view is a table that does not really exist in its own right, but it is instead derived from one or more underlying base table. So let's elaborate the concept. The kinds of tables that you have come across with until now are called the base tables. These are the tables that actually contain data. There is another kind of tables, the views. Then the views are table those contains that derive from the tables, means they are base tables. Every time they are referred to, there is no store file created by storing the content of a view. Rather, only one definition of a view is stored. Every time a view is referred to, its content are derived from its underlying base tables. So using its store definition. Thus a view is also referred to a virtual table. So how it works? Then it is given here create view. Create view means it is given the virtual table name good items, means it is the name of the view good items as, and select from items where the price is greater than 12. So here the table name is given here and it is given the items content, item mark where the price is greater than 12. So answer should be displayed. So here how to view the content, how to view the content or data of the table, like this we have to view with the help of this. A view can be used just like an other table. It can be queried, updated, inserted into, deleted from, and joined with other tables and views. So view greatly extend the control you have over your data. They are an excellent way to give people access to some but not all of the information in a table here. That means they are an excellent way to give the people access to some but not all of the information in a table. Even read-only views can also be created, which means that they can be queried but they cannot be subjected or updated commands. Means only you have to, if you want to view the data, only you have to view, but the view is also used for updating, inserting data also, and sometimes if you don't want, then you have to adjust only the read-only view. Then though there is a lot of though there is a lot that can be discussed about view, yet we are not going further in explaining view. Means the detail of that view, it is not given here in this book. Then come to the structure of relational database. Consider the items tables of our sample database. It has three attributes: item number, item name, and price. For each attribute, there is a set of permitted values called the domain of that attribute. So here it is given item table and three attributes is given. For the attribute item name, for example, the domain is a set of all the names. Let's discuss about the set names. So here it is given the table item and table number is given here, and then all the value is given here. So for that attribute, the item name is given. For example, the domain is a set of all the items. Let the domain set item name and the d1 to be the set of item number, and d3 the set of price. Now number a2 is the item name, and x2 is the item name, and x3 is the price of that item. That means x1 is the domain of x, and x2 d2 is the domain of x3. Like this it is the domain of the items. So here that means in general the data item will be contained only a subject of a set of all the possible rows is given here. Therefore the item of subject is d1 plus d1 d2 and d3. Then come to the keys. It is important to be able to specify how rows in a relation and distinguish conceptually are distinct from one another, but keys are distinct from one another, but a database perspective, the difference among them must be expressed in terms of attributes. Then keys come here for more. First is the primary key. That primary key, you are knowing, primary key is a set of or more attributes that can uniquely identify tuples within the relation. So here if you are having database sub number is a primary key for suppliers, and it contains a unique value for each tuple in a relation. So similarly, item number is the primary key of items, and combination of sub number and item number are primary for the shipments relation. Means one column we are making as a primary key. It means the primary key should not be a null value, and the value should not be repeated here. In some tables, combination of more than one attribute provides a unique value for each row. In such tables, the group of these attributes is declared as primary key. In such cases, the primary key consists more than one attribute. It is called the composite or primary key. Means a composite primary key means if a table means having the group of this attribute declared as primary key, so this is known as the composite primary key. Then candidate key. Occasionally we may encounter a relation in which there is more than one attribute processing the unique identification property. Means in our database there are two candidate keys, sub number and sub name. In the supplier relation, both of the attributes contain unique values of each tuple. So similarly, the items and items number, item name are candidate key, same as the other table attribute. Then alternate key. In case of two or more candidate key, only one of them serves as the primary, so the rest of them as alternate only. So here if you are making the primary key, so you have should that the other should be the alternate key. Now foreign key. A foreign key is used to represent the relationship between two tables. A foreign key is a non-key attribute whose value is derived from the primary key of another table. In the other word, a non-key attribute of a table which is primary key of some other table is known as the foreign key. So the one, if you are making the primary key, the another table will describe as a foreign key of both the table row. Referential integrity. A referential integrity is a system of rules that DBMS use to ensure that the relationship between the records in related tables are valid or not. So valid or not, or that the user don't accidentally delete or change the related data. So the following conditions are given here. Integrity about the match field of the primary key. Primary table is a primary key and has a unique index. Then the second one is the related field are the same data type. Same data type means the data, if you are giving permission the user to enter, it means it is the integer type or float type or a character type, like this. Then both the tables belong to the same data type database. If the if table are linked tables, they must be of same database format. So you must open the database in which they are stored to set up referential integrity. Referential integrity can be enforced for links table and from data from the database from other format. Then when referential integrity is enforced, you must observe the following rules. You cannot enter a value in a foreign key field of the related table does not exist in the primary key, or that if you are assigned the value, so value should not be a null value here. You can't delete the record of primary key if match record exists in a related table, and then you can't change the primary key value in the primary table if that record has related to the related records. Like this, these are the rules when the referential integrity is enforced. So student, next chapter we discuss the brief history of MySQL. Thank you.